Okay. All right. Come on. Settle down. Settle down. Bring it in. Let's go. Come on. Bring it in. Listen up. Listen up. Hey, I'm Coach Mikki. You are here on Fourth and One Mindset, and welcome to my locker room. Come on in, take a knee, and get comfortable because we are going to cover some stuff today that is going to benefit each and every one of you. So, if I had told you many years ago that I was a football coach, especially looking all the way back to high school, where I really wanted to play football, unfortunately, during that time frame, it was very difficult to get into football, especially being a female. Now, I'm not telling you this because it's an excuse. I'm just telling you this as the journey that I've had to go through in regards to get to where I am. And I would like to share with you something that is dear to my heart for many, many reasons, and why I would like to start with this. The road to Easy Street goes through the sewer. John Madden. One of my favorite coaches, and I think he's one of my favorite coaches because he reminds me a lot of my dad. And because of my dad, that is the reason I got involved in football. And since age 7, I have loved it. I have loved the game. I wanted to play. I would have played if I could have. Unfortunately, during that, like I said, during that time frame, it was not a path easy to go on as a female to play football. So as the years went on, I learned how to coach. And what do they say? If you if you can't do, teach. And for me, it's like if you can't do, coach. And I love it. Love every single moment of it. John Madden, Oakland Raiders, 1969, 1978. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Coach, 8 playoff appearances, 7 division titles, um, 7 AFL and AFC championship game appearances, and was the first franchise Super Bowl to win Super Bowl 10 with the Raiders. So why did I pick this one? Yeah, this is something that is so true in many, many aspects. I think that we forget that we're going to have to go through the sewer before we can actually get out on Easy Street. And we forget that, and one of the reasons is because I think we are so programmed to think that success is just this easy straight line. If I do all these things and I focus and I make my game plan and have my playbook and everything that I want to go forward is just going to happen automatically. Well, I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen. And I think for any of you that have accomplished anything of success, you know the trials and tribulations that you've had to go through to get to where you are. Just as easy as being a coach, being successful in your business, moving forward in your life, whether it's doing something that you really, really desire or something that you're starting, as of today. So let's kind of take a look at this. Yeah, being a female in a male dominated sport, it was difficult, and it wasn't just hard, but it was full of all kinds of different twists and turns and moments that I really felt was going to be absolutely impossible. But here's what I've learned. You know, you have to go through the sewer, and you can't bypass it. You have to go through the hard stuff to get, to the good stuff. And instead of looking at this as an obstacle, this is where I found my strength, my purpose, and the belief that no obstacle can really define me. I mean, this is what I really wanted. When I stepped into football, I didn't face just typical hurdles of, learning the plays or managing a team. I had to face skepticism, sometimes outright disbelief. I can't tell you how many times I was on a sideline as a head coach, and the referee out, and he'd go to one of my assistant coaches, and they would be talking to them, and they'd go, "You need to talk to the head coach." And well, I thought you were the head coach, and then they all turn and point to me, and sometimes their eyes look like cartoon characters, popping out, like, "Oh, okay." Uh, and sometimes it was really they embraced me, and other times, yeah, I had my work cut out for me the rest of the game, but that's okay. That's what you do. And I'm not going to say that was as a female coach. I think as coaches, we all go through that. How many times have you had a game and the refs are just not working with you? And so I think that's something we all experience. But in your everyday life, you're going to experience that too. You're going to experience the referee that is just not going to be on your side or is going to call out stuff, and you're going to go, wait a minute, are you blind? Did you not see that? And you can't allow that to stop you in your tracks. You just have to go, okay, so the game has changed. So how am I going to be the game changer? And how am I going to make this work to my advantage? You know, you're going to come across obstacles. You really are. And you're going to have a lot of disbelief and maybe some self doubt. And you're going to ask yourself, am I good enough? Do I belong here? Just based on other people's actions. But something's going to shift you from that criticism. And instead of seeing that wall as an obstacle, I learned to use it as fuel. I learned to take those challenges and work them to my benefit. So I studied harder, I worked longer, I showed up and I prepared for every single game. I looked at my team and each and every one of their strengths and their weaknesses, and where could I put them that would be able to give us a strong outcome for the following game. And I didn't allow what I was going through to be the obstacle, the stopping point, the part where I was knocked down to leave me there. I got back up and went, all right, you know what? Let's do this again. And we're going to do it my way. And we learn from these things. You have to. You have to be able to take these experiences that you have, regardless of whether it's something you've come across or someone has tackled you from a blind side and has taken you to a place that you didn't think you could go, and you have to start over again. But that's okay. That's okay. This is all part of the experiences. You don't have to prove to anybody that you're good enough to do what you want to do. You just have to believe and prove it to yourself. And when I learned that, my strength really, really came out strong because I became not only a better coach, I became a better person. And this isn't about earning the respect of others. This is about leading yourself and those around you to be the person and the people that they need to be. And you have to take a look at what you're surrounded with and what you're doing and who you have and who's part of your team. And sometimes you have to make those cuts. Sometimes you're going to have to cut some of those players that just are not serving you. And now what I mean by that is, I know my team, I really tried hard. Now I'm going to preempt it with this first. As a coach, I I never really cut anybody because there was a lot of factors I took into consideration. One, do they just don't know? Do they just need more coaching? And that was up to me and my other coaches to get them up to speed, because maybe they had not had good experiences, or maybe somebody hadn't taught them, or maybe they were making a lot of mistakes based on habits that they had learned. They just needed fine tuning and fixing. And then I had players, it's like I know for a fact they just don't want to be there because they had a parent that was insisted that they play football. But see, I never allowed them to quit. I never allowed to cut them. Instead, what I would do is I'd pull them aside and I go, okay, so obviously, you know, we see some things that you're struggling with. So tell me what's going on. And they'd him and haw get around it. And then I'd flat out ask them, do you want to be here? Do you want to play football? And then the truth would come out. And I say, maybe this isn't your plan. Maybe this isn't what you want to do, but let's look at football as a full perspective. It's not just about playing a game. It's about finding who you are and your strength within inside you, and what obstacles can you get over. So what I would do is I'd put them in a position. Maybe I just put them on special teams. Maybe I put them on kickoff. Maybe I put them on kick return. Just something that allowed them to get out on the field and play, but also for them to learn something about themselves. But I never allow them to quit. And you're going to find sometimes the people that you're surrounded by, the ones that are really going to support you and delve in and help you are the ones that you need to keep close to you. That's your coaching staff. Those are the people that are going to help you. And then the other ones that are just there out of necessity or feel as though they have to be, you have to look at what's their weaknesses and what's their strength and help them. It doesn't mean you have to focus on them or that you have to rely on them, but you can use them as part of your plan. And what do I mean by that? You're going to come across friends, family, people that are going to tell you why you can't do it. It's a mistake to do it. Why are you trying? And you can't allow them to be the person. I call it sideline quitting. It's the people that have already given up before they even stepped out on the field. But don't do that. Don't allow it to happen. You can see it. You need to stay focused and stick to your plan. So what happens, when you feel like quitting? You just have to push forward. You have to grow into that person, that you're capable, and know and focus on that success that you're chasing. For us, we know for a fact that if we want to get, to the big game at the end of the season, we're going to have to deal with all the stuff that goes on between. So I think in closing, I'm just going to kind of follow up with this. For anyone that feels stuck, this is not where the dreams go to die. It's where they're born because you're going to get sticky. You're going to get messy. You're going to get muddy. You're going to get astroturf in your cleats and you're going to fall down and you're going to be knocked down. But what makes you a great player, what's going to make you great in the success that you do, what's going to make you stand out more than anybody else is the one that gets up and goes, okay, I got this. Let's figure out something else because obviously what I'm doing is not working. So what do I need to do to make it work? I know you guys got this. I believe in you. You need to believe in you. So let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. I want you to go out there. I want you to go out there on the next step and compete with yourself, make yourself great. Take the things, do the things that you need to do to take the next step to get you to be awesome. All right, let's break on three on me. Ready? Start strong, finish strong. Let's go.